The DeSoto Plymouth dealers, from coast to coast, in every state in the Union, present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Louder, please. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples. If any of them say the secret word, the duck will fly down and pay him $100. Oh, the duck is here already, huh? The secret word tonight, the word is hand. Okay, beat it.
Well, Groucho, we have a young married couple for you. They volunteered just before the show started. So, Lieutenant and Mrs. Pusis, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll take home an extra $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Lieutenant and Mrs. Irving Pusis, eh? Lieutenant, what kind of a name is Pusis?
It's a Polish name.
Oh. What part of Poland are you from?
I was born in Portland, Oregon.
Is that behind the Iron Curtain now? Mrs. Pusis, eh? What is your first name?
My first name is Kelly.
Kelly, eh? Kelly Pusis, eh? Is that anything like Kelly Pool?
Well, I don't know. What is Kelly Pool?
What is Kelly Pool? Well,
yes.
That's something that you play with little numbers, and everyone gets a number. And if you hit the ball that corresponds to this little number, why, that's Kelly Pool.
Oh, thank you.
You're quite welcome. I used to be a bum on Vine Street, that's all I have. What branch of the Army are you in?
I'm in the medical corps, Groucho. I'm a doctor.
Oh, you're a doctor?
Yes.
I should have known you were a doctor. Isn't there some symbol on your uniform there?
Yes, you can tell by my caduceus.
Well, if you keep your head tilted back, nobody will notice. Now, what is the caduceus?
Well, the caduceus is a symbol that stands for physician.
Oh, I see. I've seen that symbol. It's a picture of a man in a white coat endorsing cigarettes, isn't it? No, actually, that man you see endorsing cigarettes is an actor, you know, whose medical background consists of a card and actor's equity and 2 aspirins. I notice you've got some ribbons on your clavicle. We stole that from Fibber-McGee and Molly. That's their favorite word. Could you tell us what some of them are for, those
The red one, Groucho, is the Bronze Star. The middle one is the Korean campaign with the 3 battle star campaigns. And the end one is the United Nations ribbon. The top is the Combat Medics badge.
Oh. You got the Bronze Star? Well, Kelly, I know most veterans are fairly modest. Would you tell us why you got a medal?
Well, the Bronze Star was given for his tour of duty in Korea. One of the incidents was the work that Irv did on Pork Chop Hill, where he worked 3 days and 3 nights without sleep.
You know, there are a great many heroes in battle in addition to the men who do the shooting. And I think we got one of them right here. Put it there, kid. Now let's play You Bet Your Life. Here comes our mathematical wizard. This is the poor man's Einstein. Now let's see how much money you can make. You selected sports. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. We start you off with a $100 bankroll, and when you miss a question, you lose half of whatever you've got. Now, we've added an additional gimmick tonight. If at any time you feel that you have enough money or that you have more money than you feel the other couples are going to get, you can quit without jeopardizing what you have left. Is that clear?
Yes.
I wish it was to me. Now, which question do you want to start with? 10, 40, 50, 80, 100?
50.
50. Who is called the Dean of American Sports Writers?
That be Henry McLemore?
No, he's a good one, but it's Grantland Rice.
You lost half of your original bankroll, which was $100, so you now have $50.
Now, which question do you want?
60.
60. What team won the 1952 and 1953 professional football championships?
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions is correct.
You now have $110.
70.
70. What do you call the man who calls the cadence on a rowing team?
Coxswain.
That's right.
You now have $180.
Now, you can quit now. You can go ahead. You can do what you please, but you know, if you lose the last one, instead of having 180, you'll have 90. I don't tell you this to alarm you, but just to warn you. You can take a $10 one or 100 or anything you want.
You take the 80.
80, all right. Who holds the world's pole vault record?
Paul Richards.
No, I'm sorry. It's Cornelius Warmadam.
And you wind up with $90.
Well, that's not too bad. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say, George, I've got a question for you. Who was the George Washington Bridge named after? Wait a minute, that's too hard. Here's an easy one. Why is now the best time to buy your used car from a DeSoto Plymouth dealer?
Oh, that is an easy one, Groucho. Right now, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer has a good variety of top-value used cars to choose from. Whether you want a dependable car for that son in college, a second car for your wife's shopping trips, or a late-model, low-mileage family car, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer can serve you. He has used cars for every purse and purpose. So if you're in the market for a good used car at a really fair price, you'll be wise to hurry to your nearby DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And when you're there, look for the used cars bearing this TV sticker. TV stands for top value. Remember, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer is the only place in town where you can get top value used cars. When you buy a used car from your DeSoto Plymouth dealer, you can be sure you're getting the best possible car value. You're getting a car backed by a new car dealer, by an established businessman in your community. So, for the lowest prices, the easiest terms, see the top value used cars in town. Visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealer first thing tomorrow.
And when you're buying that TV top value used car from your DeSoto Plymouth dealer, tell them Groucho sent you. Now's the time to buy, so see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. George, who's next?
Well, Groucho, we invited some women who work for a specialty store to the program tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mrs. Ruth Mitchell and her partner, Mr. Paul Searles, as an interesting occupation. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Ruth Mitchell, that's you. Where are you from?
I'm Magnan Company in Los Angeles.
Oh, Magnan's, huh? You were born in Magnan's department store? I didn't know they delivered, huh? I presume you were born in the infants department, huh? I meant, where are you from originally?
Well, I came here from Denver.
Denver?
When I was 3 years old.
Is that so? By yourself?
No, with my mother.
Oh. Where was your father while all this went on?
Well, he had come on ahead.
Oh, I see, huh? Do you have a husband?
Yes, I do.
You do? Well, you're very
Been
lucky.
married to him for 31 years.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, you don't look old enough to...
Oh, I'm a
I thought you were
grandmother.
31. You were a grandmother.
Uh-huh. I have 3 grandchildren.
Is that so? Paul Searles, huh? Where's your home, Paul?
In Washington.
Washington? Another homeless Democrat, eh?
Oh, in the state of Washington.
Oh, well, Washington's in an awful state right now. What part of Washington are you from?
From Tootle, Washington.
I beg your pardon. What was that again?
From Tootle.
Why do you tootle? There's nobody on the track here. Nobody's tootled at me for years, you know. Well, stop tootling, Paul, and tell me where you're from, huh?
I'm from Tootle. We have a population up there of about 50 men and hundreds and thousands of deer and elk and game.
What sort of work do you do up there?
I work for Weyerhaeuser Timber Company. I'm in the saw sharpening department.
Store sharpening?
That's right. We sharpen the saws to cut the trees with.
Oh. Is that a pretty big outfit, the Weyerhaeuser or whatever it's
It's one of
called?
the biggest in the world.
Is that so? Never heard of them, huh?
You haven't heard much.
No. You know, there's a quiz later, you know. You're jeopardizing this woman's grandchildren, huh? I want to ask you, why do you keep cutting the trees down if you're so crazy about them? Riddle me that.
Oh, so you'll have a chair to sit on?
Well, I have a chair to sit on. Why do you have to keep on cutting the trees down?
Well, you've got to have a house to live in. You've got to have paper to read. You've got to have doors, windows, everything that's made out of wood. You've got to have them. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have all these articles.
I live in a cave.
Well, you've got to have a door. We'll make a wooden door for it.
No, I use a rock at the front door. And I write hieroglyphics on the wall, on the stone. After a while, I'll show you my bear skin, huh? Not you. I'm talking to Paul over there. You keep out of this. You're a grandmother. You may be a lumberjack, old boy, but I'm far from stumped. Now, what are you doing for conservation? Isn't it true that our forests are being denuded?
No, it's
Right?
not. It is not. Absolutely
not
not. We are going all out for conservation. We plant trees as we cut them. The wind blows the seed all over.
What do you mean? You plant the same tree that you cut?
No. We plant seeds, or natural reforestation comes from the seed of trees that are still standing. We cut in blocks. We'll leave a block of timber standing, and that will be reforested on what we have cut. If that doesn't do the job, the squirrels, they help us out. They'll go out and pack a little seed around and dig down and bury it, so they'll have something next winter. Sometimes they forget it, and that grows into a tree. Also,
A squirrel grows into a tree?
well, I don't think so, but his seed does.
And they think those squirrels are nuts, huh?
Right. And we can't get them growing that way. Why, we go out and send a crew out. We raise little seedlings. We send a crew out, and they plant these one at a time, all over this acreage that doesn't seed naturally.
Are you pretty handy with a saw?
Oh, I think so. I've held the world championship with a hand saw for the last 21 years.
Wait a minute. You said
I happen to have some here for just such an
The
occasion.
duck has been playing the market and is broke, so Fenneman luckily had some money left over from Stanford University that he won in a crooked football bet. So here's $50 for you and 50 for you, Paul. You said the secret word. I forgot. What was it? What was it?
Hand.
Hand. Oh, I see. Well, congratulations. Well, tell us about this saw thing, huh? You say you won the world championship with a hand saw?
That's right.
Well, that's quite an achievement, isn't it, huh?
Well, we think so. That is our...
How long does it take to saw one of those big logs in two? And what is the circumference of one of those logs?
My best record this year was on a 30-inch log. It took me 1 minute and 17 seconds to cut that in half.
You sawed it in 1 minute and 15 seconds?
1 minute and 17 seconds.
I sawed a putty cat the other day. Huh? Well, Paul, I'm glad to know that the big lumber companies are doing something to preserve the forests for the future. Because I'm very much interested in conservation myself.
That's right.
And it's a very important part of our whole heritage, and we should take good care of it. But the time has come to play You Bet Your Life. Now, you win more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big money.
In the race for the $1,500, Lieutenant and Mrs. Pusis won $90, and the secret word is hand.
Now, let's see how much money you can make. You selected the animal kingdom, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. We start you off with a $100 bankroll, and when you miss a question, you lose half of whatever you've got.
60? Was that it?
60?
60.
All right. What is the name of the small lizard that is able to change its color to match its surroundings?
Gila monster?
Talk it over.
Chameleon.
Oh, that's right. Chameleon, I think, is the way it's called.
You now have $160.
Now, you can stop any time you want, or you don't have to go ahead, you know. And remember, this time before you talk up, one answer between you.
Okay.
Or I may have to chop you down.
Okay.
What is a 70, did you say? All right. What is another name for the one-humped camel?
A dromedary.
That's right. A dromedary is right. You now have $230. You can quit. You can go ahead.
80.
80.
80? Okay. What is the word for the young of geese? What are baby geese called?
Goslings.
Goslings is right.
You now have $310.
100?
100? All right. What kind of animal is a merino? M-E-R-I-N-O. Come on, time's a wasting. If you don't know, take a guess.
It's a reptile rat.
No, it's a sheep.
Sheep? Oh.
Yes.
Hello.
Well, you lost half of your bankroll, so you wind up with $155.
Well, that's not too bad. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Thank you, Doctor.
Well, Groucho, we have an Irish housewife and a man with an interesting occupation for you now, and they're coming in right now, I believe. Mrs. Abby Donovan and Mr. Ward Kimball, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Abby Donovan, you're the Irish housewife, eh?
That's right, Groucho.
Which part of Brooklyn are you from?
Well, I'm from County Cork, Ireland.
You're from County Cork, eh?
That's right.
Well, I haven't pulled one of those out of a bottle in a long time. How long since you left the old sod?
Well, it's about 30 years.
30 years. How old were you when you left?
Ooh. I was a little girl, Groucho.
Full of the old Irish blonde, yeah. I've got a little Irish in me myself, you know, huh? I had an Irish stew for lunch today.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see, who are you again? What is your name?
Ward Kimball.
Ward Kimball. Where are you from, Ward?
Originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Uh-huh. Somebody out there from Jacksonville, huh? Why did you leave Minneapolis?
Well, it got too cold for us, so we came to California.
Well, I came to California because it got too hot for me. Who do you work for, Ward?
Walt Disney.
You work for Disney? Oh, I thought your face was familiar. Are you the duck or the mouse?
No, I'm an animator and director out there.
Oh, a director? Oh,
Real director.
keep my mouth shut. I may want a job out there. If you ever need a rat, why, give me a ring. Do you have any hobbies, Mr. Kimball? What does a cartoonist do in his spare time?
Well, one of my hobbies, Groucho, is trains.
Trains, huh? Electric or a wind-up?
No, I have 3 full-size Baldwin locomotives and 4 big coaches.
In the house?
In my backyard.
You must have a pretty big backyard, huh?
Well, not too big. It's about 3 acres.
Well, you say you have steam engines out there, or diesel engines?
No, don't say diesel.
Steam engines?
Steam,
Well,
yes.
can you go to Chicago?
No, my railroad is only 650 feet long.
Well, what's the idea of having a full-size railroad that won't go to Chicago? I don't understand that.
Well, I tell you, this railroad has a roundhouse, and it has a water tank and depot, few hand cars, and
Good thing Simon is wealthy. You said hand, that's the secret word, so you get $50, and the little lady gets $50.
Donald Duck.
Yes, that's the replica. Well, tell us about your railroad, Ward. How did you happen to buy this stuff?
Well, I heard that one of the railroads was selling one of its second-hand passenger coaches, which was 40 feet long, for $50, and so I bought it. You see, I can't resist a bargain.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to just go on the train and go to Chicago than have all this stuff in the backyard?
Well,
how much money have you got tied up in this folly out there in the backyard, huh?
well, I paid $400 for the big locomotive. That's 40 feet long, and I paid...
You know what? You can go to Chicago in the Santa Fe for about $70. It's the second biggest city in the United States. And they've got a magnificent shorefront there with the lake there, and there are yachts there, and there's all kinds of cultural advantages in Chicago. There's the Field Museum. There's the wonderful department stores. I think you're very foolish to keep riding around that backyard. You don't meet anybody, do you?
Well, about 50 kids usually when we steam up.
Well, do you know how many children there are in Chicago? 700,000 children in Chicago. Well, what else did you have in your backyard? You have a few old lighthouses out there in case it rains?
No, I have a big collection of fire engines.
Uh-huh.
And, in fact, I have
What
lots...
would you think of going to Chicago in a fire engine?
I went to San Diego once.
On the fire engine? Now, didn't you like that better than the backyard?
I thought it was wonderful.
They have a wonderful zoo down there in San Diego. You could see a lot of things if you get out of the back of the house. What do you do for excitement in the... Now, you have a full-size railroad.
I play the trombone.
I was only trying to be funny. Don't pay attention to me. Do you play in a band, or do you play for the amusement of the neighbors?
Well,
I assume by this time I've fairly decided opinions about you. How early do you run these trains in the backyard?
Once a month.
Well, now, you say you're a trombone player?
Yes.
You play it on the train, or...
No, I play with a jazz band. I'm the leader and first trombonist of the Firehouse 5+2.
That's a very famous musical outfit, isn't it? Why do you call it the Firehouse 5+2? I never did understand that.
Because there's 7 of us.
You know, and everybody thought the Marx Brothers were crazy. Well, I'd like to pursue this conversation. The time has come to make some money.
In the race for the $1,500, the lumberjack and his partner are leading with $155.
Now, let's see how much money you can make. You selected a movie quiz. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. All you have to do is beat our other couples, and you get a chance at the big money. And you can quit any time you want, or if you think you have more than the other couple.
How about now?
You can even quit now if you want. Oh, don't forget, you have starting with a bankroll of $100.
I'll stay.
That's your nest egg. All right, now, what question do you want? A $10 one, 60, 80, 100? Take your choice.
Well, I think we ought to start about halfway, 50 bucks.
All right, Olivia de Havilland has an equally famous sister. What is her name? Talk it over. Remember your partners.
Well, let's see. Well, I know it. She's right. Yeah.
Well, it's Joan Fontaine.
Oh, yeah.
And if you'd have got out of that backyard once in a while, you can't pick up things like Joan Fontaine riding around a fake engine in a backyard. I tried it. Now, what do you want to go for?
You lost half your bankroll. You now have $50.
Boy, my kids are going to sure laugh at me.
I hope they laugh at me. They don't, I'm in a fine fix. $40. $40. Who played the monster in Frankenstein?
Boris Karloff.
That's right, Boris Karloff.
You now have $90.
You now have $90. And what do you wish to try?
We'll take a crack at that 61.
You take a crack at the 61? It is very nice. Walter Disney... Oh, you dirty crook.
That's all right. I won't know the answer.
Walt Disney made a feature-length cartoon that included such characters as Jiminy Cricket, Figaro, and Stromboli. Figaro! What was the name of this picture?
That's so easy, I hate to mention it. Pinocchio.
Pinocchio is right.
You now have $150.
You have $150. Do you wish to continue, or do you wish to cease?
Let's try that $70 one.
70? Burt Lancaster made a picture that was filmed in the Fiji Islands. What is the name of it? Talk it over.
Crimson Pirate. Crimson Pirate.
No, His Majesty O'Keefe.
And you wind up with $75.
What do you mean? Is that the last one?
Yes.
Well, land sakes. Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
And that means that the lumberjack and his partner with $155 in just 1 minute get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. Here are two ruts. They run about the width of a car's wheel apart and are about a foot deep. Now, we're going to drive this brand new DeSoto automatic in and out of these ruts. Look at that. terrific deep ruts at high speed, and yet the driver is able to keep complete and perfect control of the car. How is he able to steer? Simple. DeSoto full-time power steering is doing all the work of turning the wheel for him. Just like that. And the DeSoto automatic is climbing in and out of those deep ditches as though they don't exist. What's more, there's no effort in holding the wheel, because DeSoto full-time power steering is cushioning it, stopping that troublesome road shock before it starts, giving the driver feather-light perfect control of the car, even in deep ruts at high speed. Another fact, DeSoto full-time power steering works for you all the time, at any speed. DeSoto full-time power steering does the work of turning the wheel for you. Next time you get behind the wheel of your car, remember this demonstration. You're a better, more relaxed driver with power steering. And only the DeSoto type of power steering works for you all the time. DeSoto full-time power steering is available in both great DeSoto series, the beautiful Power Masters and the 170 horsepower Fire Dome 8s. Remember, DeSoto puts you ahead automatically. Now here's the winning couple, Groucho, the lumberjack and his partner, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
Well, Paul, here's your chance to chop down $1,500 here. Here we go. Let's see how well you remember recent history. In January of 1952, a freighter sank off the southwest coast of England after a heroic 12-day effort by her captain, Henry Carlson, to save her. For $1,500, what was the name of Captain Carlson's ship? Talk it over.
Don't you remember reading about that?
I read about it,
In England, off of the bay there, they tried to moor it and set fire.
I remember all about it.
All right, what's the answer you two have decided upon? Take a guess.
It's a Norwegian name.
It's
of
the
boat.
Flying Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Well, that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost
I
the
should've
big
known
money,
that.
but how much did they win the quiz, George?
Well, they won $155 in the quiz.
Well, congratulations, and thanks
Thank
to
you.
both of you
Thank
and
you.
to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Remember that the dealers who sell the dramatic and remarkable 1954 DeSoto Automatic with fully automatic power flight transmission also sell the new 54 Plymouth, engineered and built better to be your best buy in the low-priced field. DeSoto, Plymouth, two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
Friends, go in to see a DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and see the 1954 DeSoto Automatic. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same station, for the Groucho Marx Show, You Bet Your Life. Brought to you by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America, who also bring you the outstanding new dramatic program, Medallion Theater, presented over another television network. And don't forget Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life on radio every Wednesday night. This is George Fenneman signing off with a reminder from the National Safety Council. Traffic control begins at your wheel.